Hello and welcome to one of my favourite videos of the week when I try and solve the Times cryptic crossword on a Friday for you as part of the Masterclass series. We've been doing this for ages now and they're always great fun, and today's puzzle is going to be a banger, I think. Let me show you. This is a website called the Crossword Snitch, and it's an unofficial ranking of how difficult a puzzle is. And you can see today's puzzle, Friday, has 147 ranking, and I believe the way this works is it tries to make a score of 100 an average difficulty puzzle. And if you scroll down a bit further, you can see like yesterday's puzzle was slightly harder than average, Wednesday's puzzle slightly easier than average, and then they have this past crosswords table where you can see where this puzzle, which is this where the cursor is now, 147, where this sits in relation to puzzles from previous months and even years. And you can see the last time there was a puzzle this difficult was in November last year. And if you just scroll back, I mean, even if we scroll back to, let's scroll back a year, so somewhere around here would be a year ago. So that one, 194, was obviously 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I might be missing 1 or 2 here, 6, 7, 8. So I think there's only been 8 puzzles more difficult than this in the last year. So this is going to be tricky, and I had an email from my friend Robert Chewton who told me that this puzzle is indeed very difficult. I think it took him far longer than normal for a Times crossword. So in fact, let's have a look at the stats and see what they say. I mean, a lot of these people are typists. Andy Fisher's the first one I think is definitely genuine there. 9-minute time. God, look at this. So assuming Andy Fisher is the first genuine time, 9 minutes, then you've got Misty Chris. I think that's real as well. And then Tom Stubbs, who's an excellent solver, 16 minutes. Look at the gap there. That's ridiculous. So there's clearly something about this puzzle that is monstrously hard. Anyway, that's enough of that. There was one other thing I needed to mention, which is if you support the channel on Patreon, you will find today Mark's solve of the Times Club Monthly Special, which I think is by Richard Rogan this time. Mark does them a month lagged. I can't remember why he does that, but he does. And it's always a treat. I watch those videos, absolutely love them, because Mark tries to do those puzzles without a dictionary, and that is the way of madness. Anyway, that's all I've got to tell you. Let's see if I've got this window in the right place. Let's get cracking. Is that right? I think it's okay, isn't it? Right, so one across. Rat briefly. I'm thinking immediately of to tell on somebody, to sing. Stopping near fish. Okay, I mean, this is a horrific. I mean, I'm pretty sure this is the name of a fish, but unfortunately, there are a lot of words for fish, a lot of names of fish. Stopping near. If you're near, you're miserly, you're tight. Close. I mean, none of this feels right. I mean, fish could be as a verb as well. It could be to angle or something like that. I don't know. I haven't got a clue what that is. Let's try 5 across. The smallest number. Don't know. Needed liquor. Umpteen bottles. That feels like a hidden. Ah, yes, okay. This is a word I sometimes use when solving Sudoku. So this is a hidden, because bottling, we have to view the words liquor and umpteen as bottling something. Now, if you bottle something, you sort of include it. And you can see spelt out in liquor umpteen the word Quorum, quorum. And if you might have heard that if you're involving corporate meetings. A quorum is when you have enough people to make a decision at a corporate meeting. You might describe that meeting as then being quorate. So the smallest number needed is quorum. That's very nice. Right, and I'm definitely going to use the starting letters. So spotted meat for lunch, the healthier sort. Spotted meat for lunch. The healthier sort. I have to say, I haven't got a clue what this is. That's the first thing I'm going to say. But I do love it when the Times crossword gets really chewy, like, I mean, I'm presuming this is going to be, because I do expect myself nowadays to be able to read a clue and pass it very quickly and have a very good idea which side of the clue is the definition. Oh yeah, we were going to do that, weren't we? Where I was going to create a definition-only version of the Times crossword. I haven't done it this week, obviously. I don't really know how I'd do it. Maybe I'd have to do it for the day before's puzzle. Because obviously, you know, I don't want to. I want to show you my solve of this. So maybe next week, if I remember, I will create a definition-only version of the Thursday puzzle that I could show you during the Friday video if I remember to do it. Anyway, what I was going to say before I sort of got distracted by my naughty brain, was that I do love it when I read the clues and I haven't got a clue what's going on. Accompanying, which might sound perverse, but it is true. Accompanying opening line or after it. Again, I don't know. Accompanying opening line. I mean, I want that to be a word for accompanying, which I was thinking with, which is obviously wrong. Opening L for line. But the word or after it, I'm wondering if it ends in or. Oh. Well, no, rower is not OR at the end. I don't know what that is. 8 down. What can be bittersweet? Don't know. Having nothing left, with lots to go round. Nothing left makes me think of nil L. With lots to go round. And lots could be many. Manili or something. I don't know what that is. And I mean, unless there is a word, and I obviously won't look it up because I don't know it. Manili, which is nil L with many around it. Okay, let's try and get this one 10 across. Okay, Canadian waterway. Something could be. It couldn't be Grand Union Canal, which is not a Canadian waterway, but it is a waterway. Long run, wrongly associated. It could be, because it could be an anagram of long run and the word Canadian. And that looks like it is Grand Union Canal. Good grief. That is a very useful one. Okay, so the word wrongly is making me think of anagram here. And then we need 15 letters. So how do we get to 15? Long run, wrongly. So for clearly long and run need to be involved. But we associate long and run with the word Canadian. That gives us another 8 letters, which creates the 15 we need, and we just need a waterway. So not a Canadian waterway, which I agree would be terrifying. I know very few Canadian waterways. Let's go back and have accompanying opening line or after it. I just haven't got a clue what that's talking about. We better try some of these downs. Taking forever to cross street might be this on the contrary. Taking forever to cross street. Street is normally ST or RD, which are abbreviations for street and road, respectively. Taking forever to cross street might be this on the contrary. So that suggests actually on the contrary. You sometimes see this in crosswords to indicate you have to do the opposite of what the clue is telling you to do. So we could be saying we need an abbreviation for street, which could be ST or RD, and we put taking forever inside that. So, and what would, and it has to take you forever to cross street might be this, dangerous or something, unwise. I don't know. I'm not sure. Sorry. Okay. Awfully. Again, I'm immediately thinking anagram. Like crab is not laid back ultimately. But this, I don't have a clue. Awfully like crab is not laid back ultimately. I mean, that sounds like ain't or something. Is not, and then laid back ultimately might be K for the last letter of laid back, but I don't know. No ideas about that one. Part of theatre. Is that going to be a theatre where you see plays, or is it going to be a theatre where people operate? Finale, that's particularly welcome. Part of theatre finale. That's particularly welcome. End. Part of theatre. I don't know. No, I haven't got that one either. Relative, aunt. Sprightly, jaunty, auntie. Okay, at last we've actually got one. So sprightly is jaunty, and we take the heading, we take the first letter off, and we get auntie. Now you might see auntie spelt differently. Obviously A-U-N-T-I-E is a way of spelling auntie, but this is also a valid spelling, so I think that's going to be correct. And then 11 across, being tight-lipped in case of some battle. Being tight-lipped. I think this is going to be the name of battle. And when it says in case of some, the way I read that is that we need to find a word that means some, and I'm thinking many, but maybe it could be any as well. So it probably begins with M or A, and we need to have probably a 3-letter word for being tight-lipped. Mum? No. And it's going to be the name of a battle. I don't know. Taking forever to cross the street might be this. We're going to have to just plough through these, I think, and hopefully solve some of them and get checking letters. Coloured garments. Drew approval. I was thinking of tie-dyes, but... Oh, that's right. Okay, because drew is past tense. Okay. So drew, to draw could be to tie something. So in the past tense, tied, and approval is the word yes, and tie-dyes are coloured garments. Okay, so this is runny or something, is it? Accompanying opening line, rangy, or after it? Oh, randy! If you're after it is a euphemism for sex. So if you're after it, you are randy. I don't quite understand the wordplay yet. Accompanying opening line. Accompanying and opening line railway. Oh, that's a wonderful clue. That is a wonderful world-class clue. So we need a word for accompanying. When I first read the clue, I thought of with. I didn't think of and for some reason. But and is opening, so it's inside, an abbreviation for line. And I thought L could be line. It can be. But also you can get a railway line. RY is an abbreviation for railway. In fact, have I got my dictionary today? Let me just see if I can find my dictionary. How am I going to find my dictionary? I'll move that up there. Find my dictionary. Yes, here we go. Let's have a look. RY. Railway. There we go. So let's go back to this one then. Is this molasses then? What can be bittersweet? Having nothing left. Yes, with masses round. So nothing is O. L is left, and masses for lots go around the outside. And molasses, I mean, I always think of molasses as a type of sugar, isn't it? Maybe it can be bittersweet. I don't know. Right, let's try this one. What's this? Unclean? Spotted would be unclean. Luncheon or something. is this luncheon meat I've heard of? Spotted is unclean. Now, why is it unclean? I don't know yet. Meat for lunch. The healthier sort. Oh, it's beautiful again. Oh my goodness, this setter is absolutely world class. I don't know who it is. I wish they would give us at least pseudonyms of the setters, so we could just know the moment you opened a puzzle that this puzzle was just absolutely brilliant. So that it's the meat, which is sort of the filling, isn't it? It's the meat. So the filling for the word lunch. Well, that gives you the U, the N, the C, the filling for the word. And then a healthier sort of meat would be the lean meat. That gives us unclean, which is spotted. So 15 across. Rope noose, I presume. That's not long now, twisted with soon. Yeah, so something that's not long now is soon. And that goes with E for energy, which is a valid abbreviation again. Don't forget, I say this every week, but you can't just abbreviate any word to its initial. It has to be supported by the dictionary. And there I can't see energy. I might be missing it, but it'll be here somewhere. Energy. There we go. Energy there, you can see it. It can be abbreviated to E, and that's why that E is allowable as energy in that clue. Let's try 16 down. Thus, tennis players should focus on the ball. Like a pro? I mean, that's a slightly stranger clue, because, I mean, it probably is that. If you're a pro at something, you are on the ball, as in you're expert at it, aren't you? You're concentrated, and I wouldn't describe me as just as in that state when doing these videos, but it would be nice if someone said you were on the ball. I'm wondering if there's something cleverer about that wording, actually. Thus, tennis players should focus like a pro. Just my spider sense is tingling. The O being the last letter of pro and the O being shaped like a ball is making me wonder whether there's something else going on there. I'm not even sure ball is absolutely right. It probably is, but I am going to be a little bit circumspect when we get to the southeast corner of the grid. Let's try that one. Disgusted at welcome that's got extended to sides. Okay. It probably means disgusted. Contemptuous. At welcome. That's got, I mean, I think we want to put a word for extended, which I was thinking lengthened or long or something like that, on the sides of disgusted. I don't know what that is. Let's try that one. Dependency, mostly, on a friend in the city. Dependency, mostly. I mean, that sounds like it's going to be the name of a crown dependency. On a friend. A friend could be a pal. For some reason, La Paz is therefore popping into my brain. But I mean, in the city. I mean, if this did end like that, can we think of any cities that would go in there? I can't. Let me try and think of other shorts. A bud. Something like that. Is it a buddy? I'm not spotting that one either. Let's go for 17 down, which would give us lots of starting letters. A place for firm assumptions. A place for firm assumptions. What are assumptions? They are a place. I don't know. Oh, this is infuriating. Right, 18 across. Concerning time. Sidereal or something. before finding local official once. Reeve is an old word for a magistrate. Let's try reeve. Concerning, yeah, okay, so that's right. Concernings, if something is concerning something, it's re-it. You might see that on a memorandum. And then the time before is the eve of something, as in Christmas Eve is the time before Christmas. So reeve is going to be right there. And that is an old word for a magistrate. Let's just show you that. That's for the Reeve's Tale, I think, was one of the Canterbury Tales, wasn't it? He says, chief magistrate. Right, let's try 19 down. Reserve, earmark. Weapon, arm, carried by E and arc. So that's at least we've got a right in there for a moment. So if you reserve something, you earmark it. Weapon is an arm. Carried by, so inside. E for English. And a vessel is the ark, as in the Ark of the Covenant, or Noah's Ark, something that carries something else. So now we've got a chance of getting this one. We have an R in it. Following exploit. Manage, that must be ran, also ran. Oh no, hang on. Uneventful journey. Managed must be ran there, mustn't it? Exploit. Deed. Fuse. I was thinking following could be F, and then exploit something, you use it. Fuse. Uneventful journey. A fuse ran. I've never heard of that. That can't be right. Uneventful journey. I know I'm going to kick myself on this one. I just can't think of it. Let's try. Have we got this? All available money and permits. So that must end in lets. If you permit something, you let it. So probably let's try lets at the end. For people on the move. All available money. What would that be? The coin? The mint? No. All available money. The... I don't know. Or maybe it's permits for people on the move is something like passports or something like that. Permits for people on the move. Tickets. I don't know that one. Okay, 25 across. French artist dispensing with frame. Okay. Struck. Gold. Oh, goodness me. Goodness me. Gold is an interesting word in a cryptic crossword because very often it refers either to Au, which is the chemical element or chemical symbol for gold in the periodic table, or Or, which is a gold tincture in heraldry. Let me just show you that because it comes up very often. Where is it? There we go. In heraldry. Tincture gold. So when we see gold, I'm thinking Au or Or at the end. And French, the word French. Well, obviously, that's a very chapeau, for example, is a very it's a very French ending. But French artist dispensing with frame makes me think I need a 9-letter French artist, and I'm going to dispense with the first and last letters, the framing letters of the word. Struck gold. Don't know. Okay, let's try and get the other long one. So flight affected by winds. Spiral staircase. Well, yeah, that must be right. Flight affected by... Yes, it's very clever. Okay. That's a very, very nice cryptic definition. So, and the way I read it was exactly as you would be expected to read it if you associate the word flight with aeroplanes. Whereas what it's really referring to is a flight as in a series of steps. You might have a flight, a ladder would be a flight, wouldn't it? Or a staircase is a flight. Affected not by winds, but by winds. By turns. And a spiral staircase does that job. So it's another beautiful clue. Gives me loads of checking letters, but none of them look interesting. Load of vowels that aren't particularly unusual and some S's. So let's try and use the K here. Eastern ruler said to flourish. Shake or something. If you flourish something, you shake it, don't you? I think that's going to be right. Is it spelt like that? I prefer that, I think, to the I blank I version. Let's have a look at this. River has periodically recalled ferry. If only. I have got this one. This is a French river. I went on holiday to the Loire Valley many years ago. And what this is saying, if you see words like periodically, which comes up quite a lot, you might see oddly or evenly. Normally what it's referring to is to take the periodically occurring letters out of a string of letters. So if we look at ferry if only as a string of letters, and we recall, so, which means reverse that string of letters, and we take periodically, regularly occurring letters in that string, you can see spelt out back to front. If we take the even letters only, we get L-O-I-R-E, Loire, which is the river. So that confirms, I think this is probably the correct spelling of shake. Let's see if we can go back to this one. Following exploit. Managed. I mean, this must be I want this to be also round, but it's so clearly not. An uneventful journey. Maybe managed could be run, actually, couldn't it, as well? If something is managed, it is run by. If something is managed by a boss, it is run by the boss. So maybe it's run there, and that would go better, wouldn't it, with an uneventful journey. As in a rat run would be a journey. Following exploit. Uneventful journey is a sort of dry run or a milk run. I think milk run. If you exploit something, I think you milk it. And a milk run might be an uneventful journey, as in something where nothing happened. I think I have heard that expression. So what's this then? Premises. Yes, a place. You might have an office. The office is premises. A place for a firm, in fact. A place for a firm is a premises, and assumptions are premises. So it's a double definition. Very clever. Very nice. Okay, and at least we've got the southwest corner done. So caution. Short synonyms for caution. One you might see is for, as in the shout a golfer might make if the ball is hurtling off in the wrong direction. Not that that's ever happened to me. Caution 24 hours after promotion, rather. 24 hours, okay. That feels like an abbreviation for a day, like mon or chu or sat or sun, maybe. Caution. Rather. Gosh. I don't know. No, I have got this. Admonish. I got that by trying to think of words for caution that were 8 letters long. And the word promotion. A promotion could be an advert. An advert can be an ad. So once I thought of ad and I thought of caution, I could get it. Admonish. So caution, if you obviously admonish. 24 hours is Monday, M-O-N. That goes after promotion. So that goes after the ad. And then rather is ish. If something is rather, something is ish it, isn't it? So that's very nice. And let's try 20. Oh, this is the all available money one. For permits for people on the move. Or just, migrants. People on the move might be migrants, mightn't they? Now, why is that right? All available money. Oh, mints? No. And permits. All available money and permits. Or, okay. Golly gosh, I mean, this is difficult. If you're an economist, once upon a time I might have confessed to that sin, then M1, I think, is the broad measure of the money supply in an economy. So all available money would be M1. And then to permit is to grant, so in the plural, grants, and that gives us migrants. Now let's just see if MI is listed as the money supply. I would... I don't know, it doesn't look... maybe it has to be... Maybe it's M... Oh, there we go. M1, a Garand rifle. There, M1, here we go. All notes and coins in general circulation, plus all instantly withdrawable bank deposits. So maybe M0 might be the broadest measure of the money supply. I'm not sure. But anyway, that's clearly what's going on there. And we've got a G, so this probably ends in ing. 9 down, disgusted. If you're disgusted, you're foaming, you're loathing, you're at welcoming, at welcome, that's got extended. It is loathing, isn't it? But the way I'm seeing that is at is AT. Welcome, if you welcome someone, you say hi to them, HI. So we've got at HI that's got a word for extended. Well, if you have a DVD that's extended, it would play long, wouldn't it? So long is going outside at high, and disgusted would, if you were loathing, you would be disgusted. So it's again, now what's going on here? Abu Dhabi then. Oh, it is a bud. Oh, I should have got this. A dependency is a drug habit. God, that's very clever. Okay, so a dependency is a habit, mostly, so we cross off the last letter, and that goes on a bud for a friend, and Abu Dhabi is the city. That's very clever. I mean, it's cleverly worded, because I often get, this is actually, I think, something I do poorly generally in solving cryptic crosswords, is where I see on a friend, I instantly think that the a bud or the a pal is at the end of the clue, at the end of the answer, whereas there's nothing actually about, it's only because it appears after the word dependency that that's the way my brain goes, whereas actually it's totally valid for it to be at the start, because it's just appearing next to most of the word for dependency. So I need to improve that. Anyway, let's have a look at this one. Got up, arose. It's not arose. I'm obliged. That could be thanks. If you say I'm obliged, you're thankful about something. I'm obliged to do that weary. Got up. Attired. If you're dressed, you're got up. I like that. I'm obliged. Tar, thank you. Oh gosh, wow, it's very clever again. So, I got most of this in the first reading or second reading, but I didn't really understand it until now. So, got up is attired. I'm obliged is thank you, and a short synonym for thank you is tar. You might just say tar to somebody to mean thank you. But that I'm obliged needs to do that. It needs to get up. It needs to reverse in a down clue. So got up is doing double duty here. It's acting not only as the definition, but as an instruction as to what to do with the short synonym for the word thank you. And then finally at the end we get a 5-letter word for weary, which is tired. This is not easy. I mean, it really isn't easy. Let's try this one. Travelling rep Jews. That's an anagram of rep Jew, I'm sure. Broken down. I thought it was going to be anyway. That's a text remark, but it's not important. So what's that then? Travelling. I mean, it could mean travelling as well, because it broken down could be the anagram indicator. But I'm sure this is an anagram of rep due. And the answer is... Oh, Simon. I mean, this is appalling. Absolutely appalling. I quite like AU at the end of here, so I'm trying to think of a word with a U in this position. Is it pursue? No. No, it's got a D in it, Simon. I don't know. Why can't I get that? Broken down. Does it end double ED? Is that why I'm not seeing it? Pureed it is. Oh gosh. I mean, that's bad of me, but I don't know, I think I solve very phonetically, and I don't see the double E sound and the word puree as naturally as I ought to. So pureed, if something is broken down, it's obviously pureed. Our team, let's have a look at that. Us, we, has possibly picked up web design. Has possibly picked up. Could this be weave? Because if you... Oh, Watto is an artist, isn't it? Oh. Yeah, this is right. Okay, so let's come back to this one, weave. So our team has, we might say, we've done this, we've done that, W-E-V-E. But if we pick that up, if we hear it, then it's a homophone, which means that we could, if we can find a word that we can spell differently, but it would sound the same when we said it, then that's what this clue is after. And a weave, I think, is a web design. It's a design in the form of a web. Well, that's the way I'm reading the clue anyway. I don't know enough about weaving to know that it resembles closely a web. But I think that must be what the clue's getting at. And let's see if this is justified by looking at 28 across. One using free ticket passed on by teacher. One using free ticket. Passed on must be died, isn't it? By teacher. Passed on. Oh, now I'm thinking I might be wrong. One using free ticket is a... I don't know, passed on. Oh, on the ball could be wrong, couldn't it? Oh no, that's bad. Uh-oh. One using. Is this another reference to somebody on drugs then? Somebody who uses might be somebody who's on drugs. Free ticket. This is tricky because I'm not 100% sure about weave and I'm not 100% sure about ball. Maybe I've got to get rid of these checking letters and have another look at this then. One using free. Free, short synonyms for free would include the word rid. If you free something, if you free your attic of mice, you would rid it of mice. One using free. ticket passed on by teacher. One using free ticket. I keep thinking of like an old age pensioner might be given, you know, a bus pass. One using free ticket passed on by teacher. I've got nothing here. Teacher, the only thing I'm thinking of is Don, as in a university Don. But that really isn't helping me. So something's going on. But let's come back to Watto. Okay, because I did understand that when I looked at it, I think. Right. I'm just looking at it again, trying to make sure I understand it. And I don't use the wrong first letter for this word, which is dispensing with its frame. So I think Watto is the name of a French artist. And then we need dispensing with frame, struck. So I need to come up with a 7-letter word that means struck. And it's not the one beginning, well, it's the one beginning with S, I think, that we need. So I think it's swatted, and we dispense with the frame of that word. So we get rid of the S and the D, and that gives us WATTE, and we add to that the abbreviation, the chemical for the element gold, AU, and that's how that works. So that supports that this is W. I'm very confident about that, and I'm pretty confident this is just weave. I mean, one using free ticket. I mean, what could this be? Thus, tennis player should focus. A tennis player should focus. What else could they focus on if it wasn't the ball? On the score? On the lines? On the sets? On the game? On the game? Like a pro. Oh, goodness me. Could it be that? Well, a pro, I think, is a euphemism for a prostitute. And a prostitute would be on the game. Oh, that's very hard. I think that's probably right, actually. But why? What does that mean this is, then? Deadhead. If you deadhead a plant, one using free ticket. Is that... I don't understand why that would be. Passed on. If you're passed on, you're dead. And a head as a head teacher. So it is deadhead. One using free ticket is a deadhead. I don't understand that. That must be another meaning. I know deadhead as in to chop off the heads of plants that have, you know, died over the winter. You deadhead the plant. But maybe a deadhead is a euphemism for somebody who doesn't pay for their ticket on a bus or something. They're a deadhead in the sense that they don't provide you with money. I don't know, but I'm pretty confident that's right. So I was very fortunate to figure out 16 down, and we've just got the top left to do. But have we looked at all the clues? Oh, we have. Let's have a look at this one again, because it looks like it ends in BLE. Awfully like crab. That sounds like an anagram, actually, of just like crab. Is not laid back ultimately. Ah, okay. So this is an anagram of like crab is, which is 10 letters. And then we take out the K from laid back, the ultimate letter of the word laid back, because we're not that K. Not laid back ultimately is saying not K. Again, think about these clues, if you can, very mathematically. So this is like awfully like crab is. So you can imagine the like crab is part in the brackets. Minus K. Okay, so we take the K out. Imagine awfully is some mathematical symbol for shuffle. And now we've got to work out what the anagram means. So we've got... So it probably... Well, it does end BLE. I'm sure about that. But not this. I want to say... Awfully like crab. So what letters have we got left? We've got C, R, S, I think has got to come. Well, the I could be here. and another I as well. Oh, so it probably ends ibble. Irascible, yeah, okay. Again, just not. It just is slightly difficult to see that, isn't it? So, if you're crab, you could be described as crabby, couldn't you? Which would be bad-tempered and irascible. So, if you're awfully like a crab, you might be irascible. That's very clever. Awfully like crab is not laid back ultimately, but this, okay, very clever. Now that gives us a C in 11 across. Being tight-lipped. Oh, this is the battle, isn't it? The battle of... being tight-lipped. If you're tight-lipped, you are stumm. You're... I don't know. Let's try that one then. Have we looked at this? Oh, we have looked at this one. Part of the theatre. Godsend. That's easier. Okay, so we just have to think of the right part of the theatre, the gods. And then we add a synonym for finale, end, and we get godsend. So you've all been shouting at me about that one quite rightly. Let's go back to this one then. Rat, briefly, stopping near. Oh, this is the fish, stingray. That might be right. I think it's a stingray a fish? Don't know. But it definitely fits, and that's good. Oh gosh, yes, okay. Wow. If you're near, I even said this at the start. I didn't say stingy, but I said you're tight, you're miserly. So what we need is stingy as a synonym for near, and that's stopping. Or rat is stopping, rat is inside, it's corking if you like. Rat briefly is RA, it's saying take the last letter off the word rat, and that gives us stingray, which is it's just being defined as fish, which is quite hard. Now, I'm wondering if I can then assume that that's a T, because of this on the contrary thing. Sagest. Taking forever, ages. To cross street might be on this, might be this. Yeah, it's not the sagest thing to cross the street in a very slow manner, is it? I quite like that. So I think what's happening is it taking forever, ages. If something takes ages, it takes forever. That doesn't cross street, so it doesn't surround ST for street, because we have to do this clue on the contrary to what it's telling us to do. So actually the ST has to cross the word ages, and it might be this. Taking forever to cross the street might be this. On the contrary, no, it's not the sagest thing, so we need a word that doesn't mean that, or doesn't mean that it's... or to put it another way, taking forever to cross the street is insane. So that is the contrary word to something that is the sagest course of action. So what's this? Let's try and get this without looking back at the clue. Just think about... No, I need to look back at the clue. Oh, this is the no. Secrecy? Being tight-lipped. Cressy is a battle. Okay, secrecy is the answer here. So, being tight-lipped, secrecy. In case of some, the case of the word some is SE. And then add a battle to that, the Battle of Cressy. And that, I think, is the puzzle solved. So let's see. I submit without the leaderboard. Have I got any typos? No, that's right, isn't it? I think it's right. I think... I'm never sure about this last letter, but I mean, I'm very confident Auntie is right, and I'm pretty confident secrecy is right. So I think that is correct. And that's great. That's great. What a brilliant puzzle. What a brilliant, brilliant puzzle that is. Now, what do we need to look up now? Let's have a look at some of these words so we can just prove them to ourselves. So quorum. Let's look at quorum. The minimum number of persons necessary for transaction of business in any body. I love the way the dictionary expresses that, using body there rather than meeting. Okay, what else could we look up? Reeve we did check, didn't we? Oh, let's look up milk run as an uneventful journey. A milk run, obviously, is the milkman's morning round. A routine flight in the US Air Force. Any routine or uneventful journey in US slang. Okay, so maybe that's why it's not completely familiar to me. Watto, we're not going to find in the dictionary. Oh, deadhead. That meaning of deadhead. Let's definitely check that. A person who enjoys privileges without paying, e.g. a seat in a theatre, an ineffective or unproductive person, a sprue, whatever that means, and to remove the withered heads of flowers. So I knew one of the definitions. What's a sprue one? A passage by which molten metal runs into a mould. The metal that solidifies in it, also called deadhead. Wow, okay. I didn't know that. Sagist, I think we did understand in the end. Irascible, we understood. Is there any other really? Randy was probably my favourite clue, actually. That was absolutely brilliant. Yeah, so clue of the day goes to 7 down. Oh, molasses was bittersweet. Let's just have a look at that. I just think of that as sugar. Or treacle, yeah. Oh, yeah, so, okay. Obviously, the setter knows more about dark treacle than I do. Or maybe if you look up treacle, it says bittersweet. Let's have a look. Don't know. Not sure. Okay, what else? We looked at that. Premises, earmark, admonish, attired, pureed. On the game, that was difficult. Oh, let's just check weave then. For web design. So let's look up web first. A fine structure of gossamer threads that is woven. Well, that's pretty conclusive, isn't it? A web is a whole piece of cloth as woven in the loom. So it's literally absolutely spot on. It's just my lack of knowledge of the intricacies of weaving that made me doubt that for a moment. Well, that is a superb puzzle. That is one of the great puzzles that we will get to do this year. So fantastic to bring that to you. Let us know in the comments if you enjoy these videos. I know lots of you like to tell me how many of the clues you've got before me. I think there'll be a few today, but there were some tricky ones in there as well. And yeah, I love to hear as well how people who basically have become able to solve cryptic puzzles are getting on their journeys. When I say people who are learning how to solve, I mean people who are learning to solve from these videos. That is really gratifying when we hear people who have learned to solve some of these clues by watching. And we'll be back later with more puzzle or more Sudoku editions of Cracking the Cryptic. See you then.